Hi Mucker, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very well. Okay, where to begin? Okay, where to begin? Genuinely, that's the question I'm asking. So, as we're aware, Gabbie Hanna has been doing this little series. Honestly, I think it's a social experiment at this stage. And it has been exposing, you know, the past and people who've done her wrong, or whatever that means. And she did an episode, using that very loosely, it's like a Shane Dawson documentary, it's just a long video, about Joey Graceffa and Daniel Preda and Escape the Night, which is their YouTube original show. It is Joey's, Daniel is the producer on it, he is Joey's ex-boyfriend, and Gabbie talks about the nightmare that it was to work on this, that they were so unprofessional, they treated her like shit, they didn't care for her, she had the worst time, and it was like torture from like what we're hearing here. Now, I just want to, before I get into what Daniel says in his video, Gabbie's main point is that they were so unprofessional that they had her just waiting around for hours and hours and hours. Even though that's what a movie TV set is, you know, you're waiting around, you're not the star of the show, which I think Gabbie thinks she is, and she'll never be that. I think that's genuinely what she thought she was going to be on this show, surrounded by a bunch of YouTubers, many of whom have way more subscribers than her. You know, it's a show where YouTubers are basically like American Horror Story for YouTubers. And there were some big names on it, and Gabbie Hanna was neither of those names. And so, Gabbie's main thing was that, you know, they had me waiting around all day. And then Daniel has now came forward showing where Gabbie Hanna was waiting around in, and it is the most luxurious, like, fucking, like, van ever. It, like, what a trailer. It is the most, like, luxurious, well, like, I swear to God, all of these fruits and vegetables, which goes against her point about them, you know, triggering her ED by not giving food that accustoms to her or whatever. The most beautiful fruit and vegetable selection. All of the drinks you could ever imagine. And bitch, I saw some Red Bull in there, so I would be sorted. I saw some Coca-Cola, which is my new obsession. Just all of these new, like, things were put in there that aren't even in normal TV trailers. But the reason they were there was Daniel has came forward saying that this wasn't even in the budget. That Joey and Daniel put their own money into the trailers because the YouTubers on set were basically their friends, and that goes out to Gabbie too. So they wanted them to have the best time possible. So Gabbie Hanna was complaining about having to wait around all day for hours in this trailer, which we're now seeing with video proof. And I'm not just gonna, you can imagine. If you've seen the video, if you haven't, it's fucking gorgeous. And on top of that, she was getting paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to sit there and do that. Now, we keep talking about on this channel, and my big argument is that it pisses me off hearing these YouTubers complain about being rich and not being more rich. And here we're literally a talentless YouTuber complaining about having to do nothing, sitting in an air-conditioned, beautiful trailer with all of the drinks, all of the snacks, all of the food that she requires, and getting paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to do that, complaining about that, and we're supposed to sit here and take it. Because that's not what I'm gonna do. It is so unbelievable that this was a narrative that Gabbie tried to push. Now, okay, let me, hold on, my dog is trying to get in. Okay, let's go here, go in here, go in here. Great job, great job. We gotta talk about Gabbie Hanna. Yep, Gabbie Hanna is who I gotta talk about. Sorry, Dolly was very intrigued by my cat's litter box. And if you have cats and dogs, you know how that works. So I had to get on that. Okay, here's my thing. We covered Gabbie's video, we covered Daniel's response, we covered Rosanna Pansino's response, we covered all these YouTubers getting involved, and now Daniel has done a video. And I honestly didn't want to do a video on this for the longest time, because 1 hour long. 1 hour long. It's called The Truth About Gabbie Hanna and Escape the Night. Now, I didn't watch this for the first couple days that this came out, and I honestly tweeted, and I was making a joke. I posted this and I was like, 1 hour long, you know what, this is not for me, I'm sorry about that if there's something bad in here, or I'm happy to hear that if it's a good ending in this video, I just don't want to watch it. And I kept hearing people pipe on and pipe on and pipe on, and it has 2 million views, so it's doing something right. And on my flight home from Ireland, I actually watched it, and you know what? apologies to Daniel. I take back what I said because it was not dragged on whatsoever. It got to the point, yes, it is 1 hour long, but there was just a lot that he was able to show with proof, with receipts, with text messages, with whatever, and it has completely shown that Gabbie Hanna not only completely fabricated the story, but straight up lied and left out so much information that would answer the problems that she is telling us that she had on set. So, we're going to do this a bit different than I normally do recap videos because it is so long. I'm not going to be doing timestamps. We're not doing that today. I'm going to overall give you some key moments from his video, and then I have some very important text messages. And that's all we're going to be doing because other than that, this is a 1 hour long video. Okay, so Gabbie Hanna's main points were 1, about her costume. She said that the costume, she was in Escape the Night Season 2 and Season 4. On Season 2, they had a costume that didn't really fit her, and so it was really triggering for her because of her body issues that would happen again in Season 4, and she said that did, and that they were almost like out to get her in a way, you know, giving her a costume that was so like form-fitted, or so loose, or so, you know, uncomfortable. It's now came out with proof in Daniel's video, as well as Joey saying it, that Gabbie Hanna refused to go to the fittings for the costumes and only on the day of the shooting complained about the fitting of it and that she was upset with how it felt in a little bit, but then to debunk her claims completely, we have videos that Daniel is showing us from behind the scenes that Gabbie Hanna is talking about how much she loves her costume, how much she loves how it fits, she's like twirling around, she's living for it, she's loving it, so she has completely lied. Or she did a very good job of lying on set, and I don't know how the crew are expected to know that she's uncomfortable or upset if she's telling them, I love it darling, and I'm spinning around and whatever, and blah, you know what I mean? So, that was the first one. She didn't go to any of the fittings, so it's not their responsibility. The main point as well about waiting around all day, Daniel is like, that's what a set is. You didn't have to be here. We most likely didn't even want you here. You know, we were being nice. We thought we were friends. We invited you. If you didn't want to be here, we don't care. And also, you're not the star of the show. There's so many other YouTubers who've went out of their way. They said about how Bretman flew in from Hawaii. They said about how Colleen was breastfeeding Flynn along the side. Like, there were YouTubers who were doing way more than what Gabbie was doing, and Gabbie had the nerve to complain about it how many years later? Many, many, many. Like 2018, 19, 20, 21, 20. Like 4 years later, Gabbie is now complaining about that. So that issue about waiting around, that's what you have to do. You signed up for it, and you actually didn't just sign up for it, you signed a contract, which you then fell through with providing what you said you were going to do. Yes. It's now came out that Gabbie was straight up refusing to work. Gabbie was refusing to show up on time, refusing to stay the entire duration, refusing to... This is what we're dealing with. So that's another lie debunked. So I'm just like rapid fire going through these. Another one, the big one that even I like tried to sympathize with Gabbie on, was food issues. That Gabbie said that, you know, she has very strict dietary requirements and they weren't, you know, fulfilling their end of it and didn't have foods that accommodated to her. And again, in my video about that, I took it at face value and I said that would upset me, that would trigger me, that would upset me. However, no it wouldn't, because we now have more proof again that Gabbie Hanna not only didn't fill out the dietary requirements, she didn't fill out her dietary requirements list. So how are they supposed to know? On top of that, there were foods there that were literally stuff that she could have ate. And whenever she was presented with eating those foods, she said, no, I'm gonna snack instead, and then complained to Daniel that all she could do was snack and that she feels fat, she feels horrible. And then made Daniel, which is not in his job description, go to all of these restaurants and grocery stores and Whole Foods and get only her food so that she could eat. Only her, making her salads, whatever, is not in his job description. And every other YouTuber didn't have a problem with this, but only Gabbie did. So that's Gabbie's other leading argument debunked as well. There is no argument or leg to stand on that Gabbie has anymore. Gabbie Hanna, nightmare to work with, and we weren't even on set. There's just so much proof against her now, and the thing is, none of this has had to happen. This only happened because Gabbie Hanna made a video trying to expose them, and you know what? She did that without showing receipts and text messages, whatever, at least ones that were relevant. Now everyone involved has been able to see what her behaviour was like and tell us about it, and Gabbie Hanna is now silent. You know why she's silent? Because she was caught out on a lie. Like, Jesus Christ, woman. Okay, so now I have some text messages that I'm just going to go through. So we have one of the production managers texting Daniel. So keep in mind, he's on the production more so than he's Gabbie's friend on the set. Gabbie is officially on the shit list. Not only did she make this producer, who is 9 months pregnant, drive all the way to her studio because Gabbie said that it was more important for her to be working on her music that nobody's gonna listen to. So made her go to the studio at 5 PM, but she legit left early and isn't available all night to get fitted. So we will have to pick her outfit for her and it won't be fitted. It's the biggest FU. She cancelled on us yesterday too. And then Gabbie, texting Daniel, said, "Did my agents tell you guys my meal requirements?" Daniel said, "I'm not involved on the food side. Want me to reach out to whoever?" Gabbie said, "I'm honestly on the verge of tears. LOL. I'm so specific about food and I've been eating bad shit and feel fat and my stomach hurts from eating literally anything with substance." Now, from what Daniel's shown, there were fruits, there were vegetables, there were protein bars, there were protein shakes, there were all of these really healthy foods, like way more so than is even what I can comprehend. The budget in this was insane. You know why? Because it's also YouTube's budget. You know, Daniel and Joey put their money in it, but it's also a big production by YouTube. So Gabbie Hanna has a problem with that? Jesus, can you imagine the fucking budget on her fucking shitty ass music videos? $12 and like a lollipop. Fucking hell. So Daniel said, "Or if you want, you know, I can forward that to the kitchen and let them know. Let me call production. Like I said yesterday, anything you want, we'll do our best and get it for you. I saw an email from your team and said it was, you know, no mangoes, no dairy, no sugar. Just let me know and I'll talk to the kitchen." Then Gabbie is now being disproved because Daniel got a text saying, "By the way, I never got this information from her agent, LOL. All I got was no mangoes because she's allergic, no sugar, no dairy. She didn't even fill out the questionnaire." So I don't know how Gabbie Hanna anticipates that everyone is supposed to know her dietary requirements or care about them whenever she doesn't even care to let them know. Anyways, it goes on. Gabbie said, "I wouldn't be surprised if my agents didn't communicate any of that because they didn't communicate anything with the wardrobe either." So here we have Gabbie throwing her team under the bus because it seems like the biggest task in the world for this adult woman to take any responsibility. Daniel says, "Right, okay, we'll get it done then. Sorry for the miscommunication on whoever's part." Gabbie said, "Love you, sorry for being an evil low blood sugar me. I'm just the worst version of myself right now." And then she goes on to say, "I had hummus this morning. I need a protein, a fat, and a carb. LMAO. Can you maybe make a salad at Whole Foods?" So Gabbie is now going out of her way to make someone who's, they're not even in their job description, to go and get her, like make her a salad at a fucking Whole Foods. Now, I don't know anything about where the set was, but I can assume it was not near a Whole Foods. Because of budgeting and stuff, it doesn't work like that. Gabbie, you are so insane. Like, no one can... Honestly, at this stage, I completely go back on any justification that I had whenever it was just your knowledge. Fucking make yourself a packed lunch. No one cares. We don't. I don't. Fucking Daniel, Joey, they want to film their bullshit. You a grown woman. Make your own packed lunch. Or get one of your fucking agents to do it. Or sorry, they don't care about you, it seems. Because why would anyone care about you? Because if nobody cares about you, then you can make yourself the victim yet again, and you can continue this narrative with whoever, honestly, whoever it applies to, every single year. It's just like, with Gabbie, it's like, even I, whether you believe it or not, try to be sensitive in a little bit. But with this, it's just like she's evil. She is narcissistic, cares only about herself, and is just selfish. Okay, so Gabbie literally getting Daniel to go and make her a salad from like a grocery store is so insane to me. And then she literally, he says, "What do you want in it?" And she doesn't just say, you know, like, chickpeas or something, you know, something simple, or like even like buy me one, you know, like that's already pre-made. Nope. Chicken, black beans, bacon, dried cranberries, and a little blue cheese. Crumbles, balsamic on the side, please. Girl, do it yourself. See what you just listed off? Fucking say it up here and make it yourself. Maybe you can make it while you're at the studio recording new music we're not going to care about. You know what I mean? You can multitask. It's no one else's responsibility. Okay, and so then he was like, do you want me to grab a few other meals for you? And she was like, sure, that would be dope. Someone just brought me salmon. So she says that randomly. But it's also interesting to note because Daniel says how she didn't even eat any of the food then, that he went out and bought her, which is taking time out of his schedule. Oh my god. Okay, so someone then texts Daniel saying, so we talked to our talent producer team and every time she was told be ready and on standby for interview, she wasn't ready. Either her hair or makeup wasn't done or she wanted to eat. The pecking order moved on to the next YouTuber, so naturally, Gabbie Hanna fell behind in interviews. That's why she's needed. When she was originally asked last night to come in at 2:15 to make up for the time lost, she said, I'm not doing that. That's truly what happened. It's behind us. She'll be there at 2:15. So Daniel said, I talked to her, she understands. Then they messaged saying, awesome, thank you so much Daniel, I'm so sorry you're in this position, you're always welcome to pull me in, I'm on set now. And so, this was in relation to Gabbie, after they filmed the show, so the show is like, again, like I said, like an American Horror Story, they go in for confessionals, which is where they have to film the sit-down for their characters talking that will be placed throughout the seasons. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you kind of know they do it there as well. But in this instance, they had to film, you know, press, they had to do photo shoots, they had to do group photo shoots with all of the YouTubers. Like this, by the way, I got my screenshots from Spellsash, I love you so much. And it's like all the cast together, so we literally have everybody. So pictures are taken individually, put together, there's also group photos. These are big billboards that are put on VidCon, on buses, on like train stations, literally everywhere. It's great opportunity and great promotion, so the fact that Gabbie would be making it any way difficult is insane to me because Lord knows she needs it. So she was refusing to do interviews and because her main argument was that they were so behind on schedule. Now we have from text in that moment that the reason she was behind on schedule was because that she was behind on schedule. She was behind on schedule because she was behind on schedule. It only boiled down to her. So everyone else fell behind because of her, so then she had to be fit in around everyone falling behind because of her. Now these are also like professional YouTubers. But you know what I mean, like, these other people have lives, they have jobs, they have things to do as well, and it doesn't just boil down to Gabbie Hanna wanting to record a song or go to the gym, because that was another justification she made in her video, that she had a personal trainer waiting for her, that she couldn't do her job that she signed a contract for. So, here we go. This is now whenever they start having to threaten that Gabbie is going to do the work. A producer or someone on the team messaged Daniel saying, do you think I should call her attorney to get him to get her to go work? It's in her contract that she would be in the key art. Also, I'm talking to Steven now, he's head of marketing at YouTube. He's wondering if we hire a body double, shoot the double and put her head on if she doesn't show up, and Daniel said yes. And so, after this, then they get Gabbie Hanna to agree to come because it's literally in her contract. And she texts Daniel, the nerve, and says this, I'm telling you right now that if I snap, no one can say anything to me. I have to eat healthy meals at 1 to 1:30 p.m. and another 7:30 to 8 p.m. no matter when we're shooting. I'm on a very strict diet and exercise regimen and I have to eat in those hours and it has to be a full healthy meal with enough calories because those are the only times I eat. I've already relayed that, but I also relayed it before and we started shooting and no one cared about it or cared about me, so maybe you and Joey can make sure that it's heard so I'm not killed off in the marketing shit. LOL was supposed to sound funny, but I'm reading it back and it just doesn't sound like a joke. What a bitch. Like, Gabbie is talking as if this entire thing is about her, and it's very far from being that. And the fact that YouTube had to step in to look to hire a body double because she was refusing to work even though she signed it, no wonder Gabbie was complaining about her YouTube channel being shadow banned. Regardless of whether YouTube did it or not, if I was on the YouTube team and she did that on a production that I'm funding, bitch, I would be shadow banning your channel. Not pushing it and recommended because you're a nightmare. You wasted my time, you wasted his time, you wasted his money, you wasted my money, you're wasting all these other YouTubers' money and time. You're a nightmare. It's honestly just a bit ridiculous, and I can't believe that this started from Gabbie trying to expose them for treating her wrong. Please let that sink in. Are we getting this? This started from her trying to talk about the toxic work environment she was subjected to. Is she, like, genuinely stupid? Because you would think so, right? Because no normal person would set themselves up continuously like this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In my opinion, Gabbie Hanna has a humiliation kink. She gets off on this. Being humiliated, it's the only way to rationalize everything that happens with her. Because otherwise, it's just very, very bizarre. So, let me know what your opinion is. We'll talk about it below. Thank you so much for watching this, and yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, bye.